We are a couple weeks into season 6 of Disney Speedstorm, and I think it's time to discuss, was season 6 the update Disney Speedstorm needed? Now, I think a lot of you guys know and remember towards the end of season 5, the game was in, I think we can all agree, a decline. The community spirits were low. It felt like week after week, Gameloft was pushing out worse limited events, nerfed Star Chasers, bad mid-season events, super crazy requirements on season tour chapters, and things like that. And a lot of us were relying on the season 6 update of the game to kind of come in and fix a lot of these problems. And today I'm going to be discussing whether or not the update did that, if it fixed the problems the game was having, and if it was the update that Disney Speedstorm really needed to make a lot of these big improvements. I want to start this video by going over the Season 6 Community Pit Stop, as these are the official patch notes for the season and are all the documented changes. Obviously, there's more stuff we'll talk about later, but I think starting here is a good point. Now, a lot of the Season 6 Community Pit Stop was focused on something I didn't hear a lot of complaints about, which is racer balancing. There were like 20 plus balance changes to a wide assortment of racers. The Trickster class got a rework, the Teleport skill got a nerf, overall just a ton of balance changes across the board. And again, while people weren't specifically asking for balance changes, I think all of these changes were welcome. Yes, there were some questionable ones, like buffing Hans and buffing Jasmine to the extreme, and now they're both like super meta S tier racers, and I don't know if they needed those buffs, but overall I'm really happy with the amount of balance changes we got, and I think a wide majority of them were great, and it really shook up the meta, I think, which is something that Disney Speedstorm really needed, because the meta's kind of been stale for a couple seasons now, with yes, a couple critical balance changes coming in and a couple critical racers being added that would shake up the meta. But overall, it has remained widely stagnant since its beginning, and so I'm really happy to see large balance adjustment patches like these, and I hope we get more like this in the future. Again, even if they're just tweaking racer stat pools, I think it's really nice to just give balance changes, because it's really fun discussing with people what the new meta is, and just going into ranked multiplayer and seeing different racers dominating the higher ranks, rather than the same ones we are always used to. With that being said, please nerf Buzz and Sully, they need it. Anyways, moving on to the next part of the community pit stop. Again, something not a lot of people were complaining about, which is the season box. I think in season 5, we all agreed the season box was great. We were getting so many free season box tokens from the end of season rewards. And the boxes we were getting were great. All the drop rates were super high. We were getting like 4 to 10 shards for all the Frozen racers. And overall, it just felt really nice to open a Frozen season box, and I think a lot of us had really strong Frozen collections. I mean, by the end of the season, I had a 5-star Kristoff and Hans, and everyone else was like at 4 stars or higher, and I maxed out some of the crew members. It was just a really good season for progression, and I think a lot of people were feeling that too. And so a change to season boxes was something that came as a surprise. However, I don't think it was necessarily a bad change. Basically what happened is they split the season box into 4 boxes. So now you can sort of pick which racer you want to upgrade. You get Eric and Tritons for free. You can just open their boxes straight away. And then for Ariel and Ursula, you need to unlock the character and then their box shows up, and then you can start getting those boxes. Now, are these boxes better than the past season boxes? Well, they're definitely not better than the Frozen boxes, and that's simply because they put the drop rates back to what they used to be. Now it's 2 to 10 shards, I believe, when it used to be 4 to 10 in the Frozen season. Before it was 2 to 8, so they kind of met in the middle, and overall, it's definitely better than it was in, for example, the Aladdin season, the Toy Story season, Monsters Inc., Lilo & Stitch. It's better than it was in all of those past seasons, but it's still not perfect. I would definitely like if they buffed it back up to the Frozen season, but overall, I'm pretty happy with it, and I think that it is a decent change. And really what this allows people to do is it sacrifices the ability to get racers like Ursula early, because you can't pull them from the main box anymore, but you're trading that off for a system where you can sort of pick which racers you upgrade a little more. Now, I think what would really be the ultimate solution to this system is give us 5 season boxes, one for each racer, and then have one main box that has everything in it, even if you only get the main box after you unlock all 4 racers, which still could be the case. No one has all 4 racers unlocked, but if we had a main box, I think it would be really, really nice, just so that way people don't have to decide, because I know, like, there's going to be seasons upcoming where I don't prefer any of the racers and I would just like to upgrade them evenly. And it's kind of a pain to divide your season tokens evenly, especially when you can open one person's box and just pull crew members, and then you can open another person's box and just pull shards. So dividing the tokens evenly doesn't really work out the way you always want it to. So I think it would just be nice to have that option again to open all of the racers at the same time, or pick and choose one that you prefer. That would be really nice, even if there's like a premium for the main box, maybe 2 season tokens or something like that. I don't know, just some way to go back to the system we used to have and take advantage of the new one would be really nice, maybe a little optimistic. And then besides that, there were really no changes on the community pit stop. That was pretty much it. We got the season tour chapter preview, which is what I'm going to talk about now, and it's important because now the season tour, you can preview all the chapters ahead of time. So like right now I can go into my game, I can go click on season tour, I can scroll all the way down to chapter 9, and I can immediately start looking at the racer requirements, and so now we know all of the requirements for the season tour, and they are not much better than last season. I'm not gonna lie. You still need like a level 25 Stitch, you need Hades and Gaston and Belle and Eve and Wally and all of these crazy characters unlocked and at a decent level. So unfortunately, the season tour didn't really improve from last season. However, the idea that you can now preview future season tour chapters is really critical, and I think it's something that shouldn't be overlooked and definitely improves the season tour experience. Because now that I can see all the way up to chapter 9, and I can see that I need a level 35 Ariel and 40 Triton and stuff like that, I can now specifically seek out these racers, take them into ranked multiplayer, take them into the Racer Boost event, grind their shards, grind their upgrade parts, and try and level them up ahead of time, so that way when the season tour chapter rolls around, I am prepared. And this is definitely a very welcome change, as being able to prepare for the season tour chapters makes a huge difference, because every week in the Frozen season, it felt like we were just getting ready for disappointment. We'd be like, alright, gear up guys, Friday's about to come, let's see what crazy racer requirements we have, and then we'd see the chapter, it would be ridiculous, and everyone would be massively disappointed and outraged. But now with the Little Mermaid season, that's not going to happen anymore, because a new chapter is going to open up and we're going to be like, alright, here are these racers that I saw 5 weeks ago that I prepared for, so now I can complete these chapters. Or, okay, here's a new chapter opening up. I know I'm not going to be able to complete this node, but I knew that 5 weeks ago and I just haven't gotten a chance to unlock that racer, so I know I'm going to miss out on that. Being able to expect what's coming in the season tour chapters, I think, is a super big improvement, and it doesn't fix the overall problem of the season tour not being beginner friendly, which I think is still an issue that needs to be addressed. I think the ultimate way to fix this is have a difficulty requirement, like maybe each chapter you can pick your difficulty, like even like 3 difficulty levels. And the higher you get, the crazier requirements there are. Maybe you need like a level 40 Stitch or something like that at the highest difficulty. Just crazy, ridiculous requirements for like the whales and stuff. But then there's also a beginner-friendly node that still gives like, common racer unlocks and all the low-level upgrade parts that you need to get your racers to level 25 and stuff like that. That way, all the people who are just downloading the game for the first time in the Little Mermaid season can actually complete the season tour, and they aren't going to be left out. Because, some people have been grinding since the Aladdin season, and they're still getting left out in these season tours just because there aren't enough like easy nodes to complete. Like having Gaston and Prince Eric at level 25 and 40 is a hard requirement to meet, especially for people who just started playing the game recently. So I think having a difficulty level is the ultimate solution to this. That way Gameloft can still profit off the whales and the people who want all the good rewards, but if someone just wants to complete the game and level up as a new player, they're not going to be discouraged because, they can't complete the nodes in a way that's not even their fault. Like there's just characters in here that probably won't have ways to unlock them for free this season. So unless you're spending money actively on the game, you won't be able to complete these season tour chapters. I will say we did get the season tour box, which is really nice because at least that way people who are paying can complete the season tour. But still, this is a paid option and definitely not a solution for the season tour problems as a whole. Now, another thing that was definitely needing improvement going into Season 6 was the Star Chaser events, and we've gotten 2 Star Chasers this season. We got the Goofy one and the Elizabeth Swan one, and while the Goofy one saw no improvements, the Elizabeth Swan Star Chaser sees the addition of epic crew member shards again, which is really nice, a super welcome change. I'm glad we have those back, and I hope Star Chasers continue to be improved and brought back up to the level that they were back in Season 4, I believe, when they first debuted, because those Star Chasers were amazing, and I know we are getting a mid-season character Star Chaser, so I think we either need really exotic characters or we need just good Star Chasers again. I don't think you can give us, giving us Goofy and Elizabeth Swan with these rewards, it doesn't even feel worth it to play, and I haven't been playing them. I just haven't been completing the Star Chasers because as someone who's been playing the game for a while, they're just not worth it. 7 Goofy shards for all those objectives, it's just not worth my time, and I would definitely love if Star Chasers were brought back up to the level and the hype that they were previously. And finally, the last major complaint we had in Season 5 was the mid-season racer events, and unfortunately Eve's event has not come around yet. When it does come around, I'll probably have a separate video talking about it and discussing the changes that are made to the Eve event, but for now, we're just gonna have to assume that it stayed the same as last season, or just hope that they changed it. I don't know. What do you guys think they're gonna do with the Eve event? Be sure to let me know in the comments. But now it's time to answer the question, was Season 6 the update Disney Speedstorm needed? And no, it really wasn't. While the changes they made in Season 6 I think were all good changes, it didn't address the major problems that were brought up to the game in Season 5. However, I think that this season is better than Season 5, despite them not changing what they needed to change. Because 1, they have made improvements to the game. I think the game is in a better spot than it was in Season 5. Despite some nerf rewards to the season characters in season boxes, I do believe that the game is in a better spot. Additionally, on top of that, I think that knowing what to expect just makes everything a whole lot better. Season 5 started out with great promise and excitement, and everyone's like, oh my god, this season is leagues above Season 4, it's going to be the best season ever, we're getting 8 characters, they're so easy to unlock, and then boom, we got hit with the mid-season events, we got hit with the nerf Star Chasers, the crazy season tour chapters, and it really just lowered the community spirits. But now, some people left the game, and that's okay. It's not for everyone, these crazy requirements and nerfed events and stuff, but now everyone that's here kind of knows what to expect. We know the season tour is going to be difficult, it's going to require planning, resources, and investment to fully complete it. We know Star Chasers aren't going to be great, just a little couple rewards, and we know that Eve is probably going to require to be in the top 15 or 10% to fully unlock her. And honestly, I think that's okay. It's established a new normal for Disney Speedstorm, and I'm just happy this season we aren't getting any surprises of crazy changes and stuff like that. We just kind of know what to expect, and honestly, that's pretty comforting. So while there are still some massive improvements that could be made to Disney Speedstorm in the aspects of mid-season events, limited events, and the season tour, I think that the game is in an okay spot right now, and at least we've established a new normal, which is something that didn't happen in Season 5, and so I think I'm honestly pretty optimistic about Season 6 and moving forward, and I'm excited to see what changes they make in the upcoming couple of seasons leading into the mobile launch, really crossing my fingers for that season tour difficulty adjustment and better Star Chasers and mid-season events. But let me know, what do you guys think about Season 6? What changes would you have liked to see, and what changes do you want to see in the future? Be sure to let me know in the comments, leave a like and subscribe for more Disney Speedstorm content, and I will catch you all in the next video. Peace out.